Yo, oh man. Hello, hello, good evening, and sorry, I am late. All right. Sorry I'm late, man. There are changes happening right before your eyes. So I want to start off this episode by saying welcome. Thank you for tuning in whenever you decide to tune in because this is a live, but if you catch it on the replay, man, that's awesome as well. I also want to say that you are officially technically on episode one, right? Um, because due to technical difficulties beyond my financial control, we are officially pivoting from the show being called Made in the 1980s. And that is unfortunate. However, I would like to welcome all of you to episode one, if you will, even though there is 71 episodes, but this is episode one of Camp from the Port Show, a place where every sound has a story. And that's what I've been giving y'all for the past couple weeks and few days or whatever, what have you. I see my man, Girl Dad Dividend Investors here, man. What's up, my brother? Yo, man, I appreciate you. We about to talk some real hip hop. Today we're about to talk about defining moments in music for me as a fan and as a listener. I did have a guest tonight, but we're running into some issues with that as well. But I want to shout out to my cuz Mafi because we had a story that we were going to tell that intersects itself. So hopefully, when he sees this or if he sees this, maybe we run it back. We do like some bonus content and tell how our stories mix together. But I will do my best to tell our story as one story linear for this occasion today. But yes, man, listen, in life and in business and in progress, man, you're going to run into some hurdles. You're going to run into some speed bumps, if you will, man. And that's exactly what happened to me. At full transparency to the audience, because this is just what I like to do. I had some trademark issues, and there was some limbo in actually who actually owns the trademark. And without getting too deep into detail, what I owned or what I felt I owned outright that I paid for in 2024, I'm being told otherwise now. So just in case, just in case, it is not in the best interest of me moving forward using Made in the 1980s as a trademark. We're just going to just put it to the back burner just a little bit. I still have other ideas for Made in the 1980s as a name, as a likeness, as a logo, and all of that. But no matter what, I was pivoting the show regardless because I want to dig deeper into the passions of what I love the most, and that is talking about music and music being the soundtrack to life, and music being uh, a gateway and also just a an enhancer. I want to do something for the real supporters and the real fans of artists and music and albums and songs and concerts, because I don't see a lot of that content out here. A lot of people trying to do their interviews, they get their interviews off and they're trying to get their content together, but I don't see a lot of people talking about music like they love it no more. So that's what I'm trying to bring here. That's the hard pivot. Yes, there will still be nostalgia on the show. Yes, there will still be time to reflect about the times that were, but we are just going to have a primary music focus moving forward. And there is no better show than the name of the host. So this is It's Camp from the Port Show, where every sound has a story. And I hope you are ready. I hope you are anticipating. I hope you are here to talk about Young Jeezy. Let's get it. Thug Motivation 101. Because it's 20 years old tomorrow. June, I'm tripping. July 26, 2005. Young Jeezy would drop his debut album. And if I'm going to tell a story, it's a must that I tell it right. And the only way to tell it right is to start off with the truth about who I was in 2005 and why that's important to why this story is going to take place today. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's travel back into 2005. So I'm going to go back to February 2005. I was working at Champ Sports in North Riverside Mall, Chicago, right between the woods and right between the West Side. Like that's where the mall is placed. And even though it was short-lived, I was in I was what, 24 years old? Well, no, but February I was 23. 23 years old, working at the mall, North Riverside Mall, making hourly plus commission as an assistant store manager for Champ Sports Foot Locker Inc. You really couldn't tell me much about my life at that time. You know what I mean? Like, and at this time, so 2005, some of my friends and I, we're even now putting together, we're going to the studio now. We're putting together our own music, our own mixtape. So we're trying to make something happen. And with this, all this is important, I promise. And matter of fact, one of my friends, we just talked about this and we never got a chance to really meet up and celebrate. My homegirl Keisha, she we met at Champs. We were the assistant store managers for that store, and we have been friends ever since then. Even though she totally was hating on me and did not like me when we first started working at the store together. I tell that story all the time. She likes to think I'm lying now because she sees how cool I am in real life. And now it's a problem. Now she doesn't want me to tell the story truthfully. But enough about her. That's my homie forever too. But I get the bright idea along with JR Bang and a couple of our other friends, associates, family, if you will. Matter of fact, Roger's birthday is tomorrow or Sunday. But we get the bright idea because of some conversations that we had and because of how we were passionate about what we were doing that we were going to move to Atlanta. Chicago is an amazing city. I want to start there. I don't care what you see in the news. Chicago is an amazing city. And with it being such an amazing city, you would think that you could start an amazing music career in Chicago. And I'm not going to say it is entirely impossible. I'm not going to say that. I am going to say, though, that if you don't have certain ties that are non-music related and you need financial backing, that it does become very difficult. And then if you're as old as I am and you see the route that Kanye had to take and Common had to take, and you see how Crucial Conflict and Bump J and Do or Die, Twista, and Selena Johnson. You just look at all the different Chicago-based careers, and of course, R. Kelly. I think R. Kelly and Sparkle are probably the only two people that literally like just planted seeds and ground in Chicago, stayed in Chicago as front-facing artists. Because I know No ID, so don't get me messed up on that. And but I think that R. Kelly may have been the only true artist to never have a year where he had to move east or west or south in order to take his music career to the next level. Now, I could absolutely be wrong, but hey, you know what I'm saying? That is how I perceive this. Hey, matter of fact, yes. Hey, I thought it was, but I know is it Sandy Springs now? Sandy Springs. I thought it was Roswell, but North Atlanta. We were on the right on the border of it. We're gonna get to that, but that's J.R. Banks. See, he know what I'm talking about. 9401 Roberts Drive. That's one thing I will never forget, though. That is a fact. So, with that, I'm painting the picture here. And we got the all black on, man. It's Jeezy, man. It's the snowman bit. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. But so we have some conversations amongst ourselves and with other people that are oh, it's Sandy Springs now. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Look how much Atlanta has changed since we've moved in the last 20 years. But I want to say this. I honestly have no true regrets on this move, even though it did not pan out the way that we anticipated it. And I want to say that because now with the information I have about the music industry and with the story that I'm about to share with y'all, I truly understand now what it takes to be an artist of any genre. And I understand the power and the patience that it takes to not only build where you are, but then have the people support and lift you up where you are. And with the power of the internet, now the plans that Bang and I had in 2005 with Raw could now be executed in a much greater way with the information and knowledge that we have gained and retained over the last 20 years. But I do digress because y'all ain't here for that. I got all black on. It's time to talk TM 101. I've given you the backstory. Bang and I are Bang and I and Roger and Raw. You go by Roger. You know, look, the three of us as an elite, next level elite, we have the brilliant and bright idea that we are going to move to Atlanta. I had an apartment that transferred. Bang and I had jobs that transferred. And we were set out to, you know what, let's see. What are we going to do with this music thing? Is this going to be something that we are actually going to be able to live, eat, and survive off of? I forget the brother's name that we had the conversation with, but he was like, "Hey man, how many trips do y'all be making to Atlanta?" And we were like, "Well, none." He's like, "Do you be in New York? Do you be in LA?" Of course, I was like, "I was there for like the ASCAP Expo," yeah, but it wasn't enough. And in hindsight, what he was telling us is, "Hey man, you got to be where the industry is. Chicago is cool, but Chicago is cool to come back to, and y'all can be somebody. What you need to do is you need to be amongst the industry and where the industry people are." And right now for Black music, and he's telling me this 20 years prior. He's telling me this in 2005. He's telling us this. He said, it's more than just going to like Jack the Rapper and Rock the Bells and all that kind of stuff. He was like, dog, y'all got to be in the mix and learning who studio engineers are. You need to know who the promoters are. You need to know who managers are. And you need to get out here and be in a situation where you are in the industry, and the industry at least can place a name to the face and know who you are. And that does make perfect sense. So, with that being said, that's exactly what we set out to do. Now, this is where I switched the story up a little bit for y'all. Because in the midst of doing all of this, I'm working at Champs. Champs was a great place to hear new music in the 2000s. When I was working the Champs North Riverside store in Chicago, that's how I learned who Red Cafe was. That's how I learned who Rico Love was, Chris Brown. I seen Hell Rel freestyling, or it was a freestyler or a 40 cal. I seen him freestyling at like the Champs in Times Square. Man, Lumi D, of course, and the dude. Matter of fact, I was just playing this for my wife. It was a Centelo, like a rug. It was this joint. And I want to say, man, but the bottom line is there's a myriad of artists that show up throughout this entire just hold like Champ's video. And one of the videos that I saw that it just didn't do it for me was Boys in the Hood, Them Boys. Nah. So, and this is me being a bad boy stand to a degree. There's not too many bad boy situations that I don't cape for. You know what I'm saying? Like I think artist for artist, Bad Boy probably had some of the best debut albums ever for a label, especially a boutique label. And but I wasn't rushing the Boys in the Hood. Sorry, Them Boys. I didn't like Them Boys at all. Matter of fact, when I saw it, and the first time I heard Jeezy rap, I was like, man, no, this is disappointing. And he looks like Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppet Babies. I don't like this guy. And I wasn't the Styles make fights guy then, to say the least, right? I wasn't the most evolved individual. And for me, it was all about lyrics, wordplay, similes, metaphors, homonyms. And I was just like, bro, he not really kicking nothing ill. He just talking. And he's taking so much time in between the bars. Like, why is he not like kicking that? And for me, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I thought that he would be in obscurity by the time. I know my man Jay Harrell feel me. My money was on Jody Breeze. I actually love Jody Breeze. I met Jody Breeze. He came into my store when I moved to Lenox Mall, but we'll get to that. But needless to say, me and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, we weren't getting along sonically. From his words to my ears, it was not a match. So when I learned that they in Atlanta and we moving to Atlanta, and I'm like, oh, if that's who got on the Champs video, we should be good because we better than them. Look how arrogant you sound when you say it. Like when you say it back, you sound arrogant as hell. But that's how I felt. That's literally how I felt. And so now I'm hyped to move, right? And I think it was so 26. So literally like July 23rd is when we leave. I think we arrive. It's like a Sunday, July 4th. Because music still dropped on Tuesdays back in 2005. So fast forward, I get the transfer. Store manager at North Riverside didn't really like me anyway. He almost hit me with a box of hangers on some like rageful, angry stuff. I don't think he didn't aim for me, but he was mad at something else and threw like a box of hangers down the shoe wall aisle, and it almost hit me. And I'm like, dude, you're insane. And that's why I'm leaving out of here. I got to get out of here. And I was very fortunate to get placed at Lenox Mall. Lenox Mall in 2005, Lenox Mall. So this is before all the shootouts. This is when it was still super bougie and valet was like, wow, that is a crazy thing. Like that's going on. It's like, yo, I was like, is valet at the mall? I'm like, that's insane to me. And I didn't quite understand that, but it's like, yo, where am I at? And then I walk into the mall, and boy, does it really, really look different from the mall that I was in. For everybody that's not familiar with Chicago, they used to call North Riverside North Nigga Side. And because it was a lot of that in there, but it's not just black people, but it's like inward activity, like a lot of Negro side happening. A dude tried to come into my store and steal the whole t-shirt table, and he had the 30, not the 30-gallon, the 30-gallon trash bag, trying to dump everything in that hole. It's crazy. But he dropped it when the police started chasing him. It is what it is. But but we moved to Atlanta. We set up shop. We got a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom townhouse. We renting though. you know. But rent. So keep in mind, I lived in Woodridge at this time, and I was driving all the way to North Riverside Mall, and I was going straight up 56 too. I refused to take the highway because it was just a cool ride. But then we moved, 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom house. Um, it's rented, but we on the Chattahoochee River though. We fresh off the river on some like Hansel and Gretel type shit. You dig? Like we out there, and it's squirrels in the backyard. Don't get me wrong. Living off the river is cool until you got to deal with all the bugs and you trying to grill and you might see like a ferret or something running by. I really wouldn't ready for that. But the aspect of being on the river was super fire, you know. And then of course, you know, we 22, 23 years old. So we like, yo, man, I think we about to tell Jose off the river. It's lit. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you know, there's this we had some internal fighting about where we should live. And but once we got there, because yeah, listen, I have always been a don't put me in the hood person. Sorry. Don't put me in the hood. I know the rats are going in the hood, but there's also crack being sold in the hood. There's shootings going on in the hood. You gotta watch your car. I want to park my car, lock it or not, and everything is all good. And I remember having an argument, one of the many arguments that were hilarious in this house, by the way, about man, we need to be at College Park. I was like, why? I was like, nigga, I should live out here. Like, what are you talking about? So, um, with all of that being said, I get down, we get down to there. I check out the new digs of the new mall. It's and overall it's cool. Even though the store manager there, Troy, you a bitch. And ain't nothing changed. Even 20 years later, you're probably still the same bitch that went up that escalator after you tried to stun on me because you hid a shoe from me where I couldn't find it to help a guest out. You a whole ass nigga forever. We're gonna talk music here soon. I promise. I promise we're gonna talk music here really soon. But all this is important for context of the story and storytelling because as I get to the store, I meet these two cats, Bug and Deuce. Salute to them, great dudes. And Bug always had the plug on the mixtapes, and he was just playing like he was playing Savage Life, the mixtape, the Gangster Grill before it came out. So many other mixtapes was coming out, and he was out here just playing them in the stock room. We over there stocking shoes, and he playing all kinds of joints. And then there's this conversation that's going on. They was like, hey, Shot Town, hey, yo, you fuck with Jeezy? And I'm like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. No, I don't. I was like, I do not. It was like, man, what? You ain't messing with that Jeezy, bro? Like, man, dude, hey, his album about to be a classic. He about to drop this and he about to take over. And I'm like, what? I was like, the dude that looked like the Muppet from the damn Boys in the Hood video, him? He was like, yeah, man. He was like, wow. He was like, yo, you wildin'. Like, he was like, man, Charlie, I'm telling you. He was like, Jeezy, that dude out here. And I was like, really? I'm like, man, okay. I was like, well, you know, let me see, let me see what's really up with this then, I guess. And but even then though, because they were already on new music. I didn't know this until I actually moved, but um the Trapper Die mixtape had been out kind of like forever to everybody that was there. And I had never heard it. Even though mixtapes, you were able to get them maybe through websites and like LimeWire or something like that. I didn't have access to Gangsta Grills like that. I didn't have it at all. And for me, I sat there and was just like, maybe I should listen to this. but maybe not because he trash. I think my group is better than him and then better than his homies. Even though I like Jody Breeze, we should feature with Jody Breeze. These are the kind of dumb things I say to myself, right? And long story short, as far as the origin goes, we're in the situation where the album is about to come out. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's just talking about it. Like there's this unbelievable buzz. So for me, especially, we young, we 20 something. We go to the clubs. We go to Vegas nights. And man, I want to say Vegas nights was the first time that snap music made sense to me. Let me catch up with these comments. Y'all going crazy. Hold on. Oh, hey, shout out to Aaron. Thank you. I think you're the first time listening in. I appreciate it. And yes, absolutely. A BITCH on my life. And he know it too. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this, Wang. But salute. Chicago Style had mixtapes. Hey, listen, I slept on Chicago Styles in Freeport. I never actually went in there to look for music. I ain't even gonna cap. So I probably missed the boat on a lot of it. And Trapper Die coming out. So check this out, Jones. And I'm gonna speak to Jeezy's work ethic then. Because remember, so now Boys in the Hood and Jeezy as a solo artist are moving at the exact same time. And I am super like I'm super like just in and out the loop at the same damn time. You dig? And then hey, listen, yeah, you know what? Because I've evolved. But yeah, it's super mad rapper energy. It's like, there's bravado and there's ego and there's arrogance, but then there's just being a hater in a lot of different ways. And I'm telling the story this way for that exact reason. So I don't mind. I'll take the jokes because hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, yeah, I felt I had that John Blaze-ish. I did. I really did. And so, you know what I mean? So, you couldn't tell me much about me and my constituents. But Vegas Nights was one of the coolest night spots that we went to. I think it was the very first one we went to, and my cousin Mafi and my boy Jay Harold was telling us to go there. You know what I'm saying? And when I went to Atlanta 2005, we down there, we at the club, and man, there was a song called Nextel Chirp that was going so damn crazy in the club. I thought dude was like Jay-Z. And shout out to Maceo, wherever you are, because man, the way the city of Atlanta was behind you and your movement and your music, you couldn't tell me you weren't next. And I was like, oh wow, I guess we now just getting hip. And when I say this, y'all, I'm really talking about like he was carrying a level of energy. Oh man, I mean, to put it in different cities, it's like when Twisted probably first dropped Adrenaline Rush, even though I was in Freeport then, but like, or when Do or Die dropped Poe Pimpin', like it was that kind of feel in Atlanta for Maceo. When Nextel Chirper came out, and it was a remix. This is 2005, and I know I'm telling you, it's 2005. That Trap House by Gucci Mane and Young Dro, Shoulder Lean. Yes, I heard Shoulder Lean summer of 05. They were working that record in clubs, strip clubs, and the radio was already playing it in Atlanta. I don't know the landscaping of the programming now, but back then, Young Dro, Shoulder Lean was playing for a whole solid year. And by the time I moved back to Chicago, they were just calling it the new jam of the day or the week or whatever by that time. So this was a real big thing for me. And then what was it? The song they kept playing, that Bun B, Pimp C, and Young Jeezy, that came on in the club. And man, you would have thought they said, hey, we're giving out $10,000 to everybody that screamed because they were going so crazy when this song came on, and people knew Jeezy's verse word for word, and I'm like, damn, am I tripping? Am I hating? Like, because this don't sound that impressive to me. And I love UGK, but I was like, but this the one? And then as the songs are playing, we going through the mix and we standing there, JR Bang. And I don't know if he's still in the live because I'm just gonna hint at the story because he said it in public, so it's fine. He was like, yo, ain't that Trillville over there? And I looked and I was like, no, that can't be, like, not those little young people over there. That can't be Trillville. And then sure enough, the club DJ announced that it is Trillville. And he was like, man, we should rob them. No hammer on me though. So, but it was a mismatch. It's a mismatch out the gate. But shout out to Trillville, even though I know one of them got caught up in another situation in the of the R. Kelly persuasion. So I don't know what's going on with that. But also, Lil Scrappy, I thought Lil Scrappy was going to jump off the balcony of the club of Vegas Nights into the crowd when and it wasn't even no problems that was on. It was some other song. But I was like, yo, is he about to jump into the crowd? So yeah, so way before Kid Cudi and Tory Lanez and Travis Scott, Lil Scrappy definitely was a macho man posing and acting like he was gonna super fly snooker right off of the balcony of the club into the crowd in Atlanta. I seen it in 2005. So I think that's enough backstory, right? We're gonna get into TM 101. Are we ready? We ready? Because now this is where my cuz comes in. Hey, Jones, listen, you gotta talk to that guy. He's crazy. He's crazy. Okay. So we've already run through this. I think I'm so great. And so in retrospect, a lot of people are trash to me. I'm wrong. We're gonna go back to 2005 music scene, but let's get right into it. The turning point for me was my cousin Mafi, because he was like, yo, what you doing tonight, cuz? I was like, man, I don't know. I gotta work, but I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even matter. Like, what's happening? I just got to the city. We just moved. We got everything moved in. I don't even know where my stuff is, but I got something fly to put on though. That's all I do know. So when what's happening, he was like, yo, I heard Jeezy listening party is gonna be at Visions or 112, but it don't matter which one because they right across the street from each other. I'm like, okay. I was like, Jeezy, wait a minute. Jeezy, like Young Jeezy, the dude, the Muppet looking dude from Boys in the Hood. He was like, oh, you're not messing with it? I was like, dude, garbage. It's like, he garbage to me. He was like, cuz, why you ain't messing with, you ain't fucking with Jeezy? I was like, dude, that Boys in the Hood shit is trash to me. He was like, have you heard Trapper Die, the mixtape though? I was like, no, Trapper Die, huh? I was like, that's interesting. I was like, so like Get Rich or Die Trying. So like he biting the 50 Cent stuff. Look at me, super hating. You dig? And he was like, cuz. He was like, yo, listen. He was like, no, I ain't gonna lie. He was like, and you know, I'm quick to call somebody whack. He was like, but no, this dude Jeezy super bumping. I'm like, for real. He's like, cuz he's like, I'm not lying to you. He was like, yo, he got some super bumping joints. And then he was like, yo, let me get you a copy of this Trapper Die mixtape. And I was like, all right, we'll hear some of this. And I'm thinking like, okay, whatever, right? I'm thinking like, okay, he gonna prove my point. He gonna pop this in the deck. This gonna be cheeks upon cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Cherokee the Stallion levels cheeks, Elkie the Stallion cheeks. I'm gonna tell him to get this shit out of my car, and it's a wrap. But then the intro came on. And then it was at that moment I was like, maybe I'm hating, because this intro is super effing fire. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta retract. I was like, okay. So then, right, I'm in a then I'm in a situation. Oh, my man Dub is here. What up, J Dub? Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I thought it was gonna be super cheeks, bro. And I was just gonna be like, man, cheeks upon cheeks, bro. This straight Pinky in her prime cheeks. That's what I thought it was gonna be. And then I want to say he might have been skipping around, but I'll tell you what I realized next. It was Get Your Mind Right came on, and it was just like a piece of it. And I was like, wait, hold up. I'm like, dog, are you kidding me? I was like, yo, I was like, this Jeezy, this the Boys in the Hood dude, like not Jody Breeze, it's the other dude. And he was like, yes, cuz this bumping, ain't it? I was like, I ain't gonna lie, you might got me. I was like, you might got me on this. And there was something else from that Trapper Die mixtape that played, and I was like, all right, hold up, cuz. So this album dropped tomorrow. And he was like, yes, this should drop tomorrow. It's gonna be so hard. And I was just like, all right, you know what? I said, you know what, man, skip it. Even just because we in the city, I'm new to the city. I'm trying to see what's happening. I want to roll out with you. So we set it up. Right? We there. And then as that's happening, we get ready. So long story shorter about this part, right? Get dressed. Oh, I go to work, get to the crib, freshen up, get dressed. I think I got that ish on, you dig? And I don't look like I'm from Atlanta. For all of you young guys out there that maybe are visiting or plan on moving to Atlanta, let me tell you firsthand, the girls love when you are not from Atlanta, and they can spot you out asexual. Okay. There is not a time, like nowhere. All you gotta do is walk in there and say hi. From the strip clubs to the regular clubs. You're not from here, are you? Where are you from? And only a few knew that I was from Illinois. But I get in the car, scoop cuz, driving down Buckhead. I'm off of Georgia 400. We get off on Peachtree. And man, when I tell you, we got the windows down, you know. And when I tell you, man, every single car got Thug Motivation 101 playing. And it's a different song. It's a different song playing. I heard Get Your Mind Right. Somebody was playing Standing Ovation. But then I was like, dang, I was like, people really out. And cuz was like, yeah, and they playing that Jeezy. They playing that Jeezy. Cuz I'm telling you, it's super bumping. I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, I hear you. But then I want to say, right before we get to the intersection to pull up into the street where Vision and 112 was, all I hear is, yeah, hey, the motherfucking business is, nigga. Yeah, all you hating ass niggas with your sneak dissing, nigga. That shit don't get you on, it's gonna get you hurt, nigga. If you a hater and you know it, fuck you. You not rapping ass bitches. And I was like, yo, I was like, whoa. And then he was like, do something, let's get it. And then this car, do. And I was like, dog, I said, what is that? And he was like, yo. He said, yo, I'm telling you, that's the Jeezy. And I was like, okay, I've had enough. I was like, I gotta hear that song. I have to hear whatever that is. I was like, what I heard at the light, I'm sold. Now I gotta get this. And off the rip, like we pull in, I was like, okay, now I'm kind of hyped. Look at me. Fake as hell. Fake as hell. was hating for 48 hours in Atlanta until I hear the songs the day and a half before and the night of as we driving through, right? So we pull in Division of 112, and I mean streets packed, bro. Streets are packed. You dig? When I tell you, It was one, it's cars everywhere and it's people everywhere. You know that scene in Boys in the Hood where they just all kicking it on Crenshaw? That's what Atlanta looked like that day. And I was like, damn. I was like, yo, it's fat out here. Like, where we gonna park? We ended up parking 2 blocks away, maybe something like that. And we getting out the car, across the street, walking up, and then all of a sudden, as we pulling in, because we now early. This is like 10, 11 at the earliest that we out, like 11, 11:30. And as we walking towards the clubs, trying to see which one he was at, because come to find out through word of mouth and just people on the street, he actually was having his release party at both clubs. So he was at Vision and 112. And he was just across the street. And they just playing the album. So I'm like, oh, bet. So it don't matter which one we get into. I was like, but is this free though? Because I don't have Jeezy release party money. Because now I'm sold. I was like, look, y'all all on dude. And most of their clubs be free or no more than $5 or $10. But I was like, but this felt like a different kind of event. You know how like when you walking towards something and it just feel different. I was like, yo, it ain't about being like a rat to get in here, is it? Because I don't know if no, let me rephrase that. I don't have it for this. Like I hated this guy 72 hours ago. I don't have money. I don't have a comma to give dude to go into his party. He's like, no, because we'll figure it out. I'm like, okay, bet. As we walking up, people started running towards us. And as people are running towards us, we hear, and I'm like, whoa. So now we Ricky and Trey, like just running off. You know what I'm saying? We are just running off out of nowhere. And to the point we lose each other. But now, granted, don't know where the shots came from. But again, I just come from Chicago. I don't look around for where the shots are. I just go with the flow of the runners. So if y'all running towards me, I'm backpedaling to turn around and full on sprint. And I'm 23, so I'm fast as shit at this time. And we never make it in. Matter of fact, I find my cousin because he yelling for me in the street. He yelling at me for my government name. He's yelling my government name in the street. That's how I find him. And I was like, cuz, I ain't gonna front. I want to be out. I want to hear this album, but I don't want to get shot as soon as I move to Atlanta. I just can't do it. We gotta get the fuck out of here. So from there, I'm thinking like, damn. I was like, so this Jeezy gonna be bumping, huh? Well, let's just see. Next morning, no lie, get up, go to Best Buy. Matter of fact, I think Bang had to be at work that day, and he worked at Best Buy. So I took him to work, and I went to the music section. Cop that Thug Motivation 101, man. And bro, let me tell you, boy, am I a damn hater. Let's get these comments real quick. Because my man J Dub, 815 Future Premiere, hey, my favorite album of all time, the best first song on a project ever. I'm guessing you're talking about Trap or Die, because the Trap or Die intro is crazy. It literally is. I don't know if there's too many intros better than that on any album. I ain't gonna lie, or especially with kind of mixtapes this album. Aaron, you are absolutely correct. There was just something different from Chicago guys, and even just Illinois, Northern Illinois. I'm from Freeport, Illinois, but you know, Chicago is always left for Chicago for sure. Hey, drug dealer door prices, indeed, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Look, 2005 was also the Make It Rain era. I went to 2 strip clubs in Atlanta, and I was like, I will never go to another strip club in Atlanta again. Dude, we wanted to fight the DJ. He almost got scraped, and it was 4-on-1. He was not going to win. And dude, I mean, like literally, as soon as you walk in the club, he's like, "You niggas better start throwing some money." I'm like, "Bro, can we get a table?" Damn. But let me see. I used to hit the kitchen lights. Hey, so now let's get into the album. Let's get into the album. Thug Motivation 101, man, track for track. So, like, listen, I am a person that I do listen track by track. And I know what y'all saying. And then what? Hey, listen, did not love and then what? I didn't. Outside of the start of the second verse, outside of I see you looking with your looking ass, catch snowman in the kitchen with his cooking ass. I didn't like the song outside of that. But you know, there's a flash of like, okay, I do remember that. And when you go to the club and you see everybody doing that part, it's like, oh, okay, okay. Maybe he is onto something. But listen, I thought Motivation 101, the intro, standing ovation. I was like, okay, this is solid. I'm not totally blown away, but I was like, okay, and no, you know what? I get it. I hear a lot of what I was hearing the night before. But then track number three, I get on. I hear the intro. I hear that same intro, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. This this is what I had prayed for. This is the price of admission right here. I don't care about nothing else that happens on this album. I was like, I bought the project with this song on it, Gangster Music. That's what it's called. Hey, Gangster Music's my favorite song on this album, officially. So we got the track 3. Won't lie, ran it back 3 times. Don't think I got through the album the first hour that I had it, because once I saw that track 3 was Gangster Music and it was the intro I heard, the stoplight in Buckhead, Atlanta, I kept playing it. And still to this day, it's my favorite song on this album. Still to this day, and again, I got it. I bought this 20 years ago. Look, it's even cracked. It's been moved around a couple times. But we don't leave them at the house. We bring them out. My chain for your life. We can swap it out. I was like, all right, yeah. All right. Okay. Now we're here. Now I get it. I'm phony. I'm fake as hell. But then we get to Let's Get It, Sky's the Limit. Hey, listen, this is to me the epitome of thug motivation. I was like, yo, I didn't even really resonate with the verses, because like, man, the hook actually had me feeling like I could do some things, even though I was super hating. It's like, man, this is crazy. I already told you about And Then What. So now Go Crazy, the remix with Jay-Z. Now this is when Jay-Z said he was retired. So I don't know. Something about just this song, I don't know. I kind of felt like it was force fed at one point. Not that I didn't like it, but even I, again, on some hater stuff, originally I was like, Jay-Z on here. How he get a Jay-Z feature? Look at me. Hating. How he get a Jay-Z feature? Like, he ain't even nice. Like, like Bleak better than him, Beans better than him, Freeway better than him. Shoot, I'm not sure he better than Owen Sparks. Hater stuff. But he got the feature. Song is dope. I mean, it's not too many times you're gonna say, "Oh, that joint with Jay-Z." I don't really like that. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. But now here, track 7, Skip, Last of a Dying Breed. Sorry if that's your favorite song. Sorry if it is. But Trick Daddy, Young Buck, Lil Will, Last of a Dying Breed. I do not like this song. I've listened to it even today. Listen to the album. Always listen to these albums again before I do these reviews or these anniversary celebrations, just to make sure I wasn't tripping. And man, I was just like, you know, like Lil Will, don't get me wrong, he kind of killing it, but he not singing like the Rent do. I like when the unknown feature be singing his heart out. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, me and my guy Wang, we did a show about like just those obscure R&B features or something like that. Like my man, I forget his name now, but on that girl, the MJG, that girl, he's smoking that. He's smoking the Stevie Wonder flip. My dude ain't really Lil Will. He ain't really killing the you would G like me. He ain't really killing it though. He got man. He was supposed to do some extra runs or something on there. Hit the falsetto on these hoes. Let people know like, yo, man, my single coming out, bro. Let me know if you messing with it. Hey, yeah, hey, and dog Jones. I thought them dudes was rubbish. They were fit for the incinerator, and I had him under them. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. But Last of a Dying Breed is absolutely a skip for me. My Hood, don't love this song, but I get it. And I think it ended up being like the fourth single off the album, too. Bottom of the Map. I actually love this song. And wildly enough, this in Atlanta 2005 is an underrated slow grind and twerk song. I can't explain it. I didn't request it, but the women in Atlanta seem to like to pop that thing to Bottom of the Map by Young Jeezy in the clubs, in the corner. Get Your Mind Right is track 10. And that is my second favorite song on this album. This is what I heard on the Trapper Die mixtape. I heard the piece of it. So I heard the dramaless version with the end of it on there. And I was like, yeah. Because originally it's been a dead heat, to be honest with you. Gangsta Music and Get Your Mind Right are my two favorite songs on this album, bar none. Absolutely and positively. These were the price of admission for me on this album. And you want to talk about classic songs that I think just will always resonate greatly. Those are at the top of the list for me. Especially for this album. I think if you are doing just great songs out of Georgia, just the whole state or the South, I think you have to have those two songs in there somewhere for me. But I mean, again, I could be just totally wrong. Then we got Trap Star, Bang, and Don't Get Caught. These are again, man, it's there's not too much of a deep dive that you need to do for Jeezy albums, especially this first one, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101, because it is exactly as advertising. It's the calling card to your inner hustler. And that ain't even just about selling no drugs. If you got a new job, look, I was slinging shoes. You know what I'm saying? But when you hear Let's Get It, when you hear Sky's the Limit, when you hear Trap Star, like you be like, yo, or Get Your Mind Right. It's like, yo, you can use that against customers. Like that's ill. You know, I am I love these joints. And look, and I was for somebody that was very high on Lil Scrappy, I love Bang. And look, and Jones is saying the same thing. Bang was my favorite joint on this. A 20-year-old Jones interning at Power 92 and driving the promo truck. Couldn't tell me that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was but man, what a time, right? What a time. Look, man, y'all know about Soul Survivor. I don't need to tell you about that. Hey, listen, I couldn't stand Akon either, bro. But that was different. And I don't want to sound situationally racist, but I did not like Akon's voice, and I will leave it at that. Everything else would be me speaking against all the black progression stuff that I try to say to you guys as a more older and mature man. You dig what I'm saying? So we're not gonna do that. But look, man, again, it was a smash record. That's my man Bug favorite joint. Or no, was that Lenoris? I forget. Might have been Terry and Lenoris' favorite joint. Two other cats I work with at Champs. They were some solid dudes. So respect to them. And then, hey, then Trap or Die. So now Trap or Die, the song, again, Run It Back. This is still hard. You know what I'm saying? This is up here for me. Bun B. Bun B on a hell of a campaign. That this is like all of his features, especially with Pimp C being in jail and him getting out, but then him dropping his own album, The Trill, which got 5 mics in the source. I don't know how y'all feel about that now. I think I will be reviewing that just to see if it was as real or was it truly the hey man, this is for Pimp C, dog. If it's one of those kind of awards, but we'll see. We'll see. Time will always tell ultimately. And then you got Tear It Up. So I said I would do this as I was preparing for the show because Jones and I have went back and forth on this song. And how I said this song is for rats. I said this is songs for girls that wear dirty socks. And I was just like, they're like, this doesn't ignite my horny. Like this, like Tear It Up with Lloyd and Slick Puller. It just don't do it for me. And then my damn wife tells me how she loves the song. And she told me to tell y'all that she loves the song. And she was like, I got one baby mama, no bitch, no wife like Pac. You need a thug in your life. Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, hey, look, if this is the calling card for I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to say that. But hey, man, listen, if you are a woman that likes this song, let us know. Let us know. We would like to hear from you. Jones, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. I don't, hey, listen, I didn't know her then, but it would have been an ultimate no thank. No, thank you. I would hear it. Hey, look. Man, I'm about to talk too much on this joint. Never mind. Never mind. Listen, we're gonna keep it moving forward, man. But Tear It Up, skip for me. Y'all do what y'all want with that information, all right? But look, that's how you feel. Now we back to the heat, though. That's how you feel sitting 24 inches off the ground. 45 on my lap is going down. You know what I'm saying? Like now we back to the heat. We not listen. I don't listen to trap music for women if I'm trying to finger bang them in cars, uh, get something popping off in the most obscure and irregular places, dip off at the party. None of that. We're not doing that. Now, if you're going to tell me that that's the calling card for a song for girls that like girls, then maybe that's different. Maybe we can have a different conversation about it. But for me, as a male that is heterosexual, that wants to make women feel a certain way, I don't think that's the song I'm ever going to add to any playlist anytime in the past life or in the near future. Just not doing it, sir. Sorry. Next date night, no. hey, listen, no. Unless we're going to pick up a young harlot, don't want to hear this. And it's going to work. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Sorry. Talk to him. Another solid joint. I love the beat on this. And this is the one, like, I guess you could say, introspective storytelling record on the album. Sometimes I forget this song is on here, but when you hear it, it's like, oh wow, okay, yeah, that's what he was on too. I dig that. That was dope. And then Air Forces. Now look, I know people swear by Air Forces. Let me scroll back up to my man Wang's spun up to his comment real quick because I'm here with this. I hate the Air Forces when it dropped. And I will say it sounded like a good idea to play this in the club in Atlanta one time, but he had to immediately change it off and switch to a different tempo. I still don't love this song. Um, I don't like the beat really. I get the play. And it's probably a really good way to end the album. But overall, this just don't do it for me, dog. It just don't do it for me. So, you know, I am I'm literally in a state of like, do I really mess with this? It could be a skip for me because here's the deal: 19 tracks, 1 hour, 17 minutes, 46 seconds. With 19 tracks, I am the guy. If you're just here listening for the first time, I am the guy that says no album by any artist needs to be more than 14 tracks, and that can be with an intro and an interlude. I don't need hours of music from you. That's why I can't get through a lot of Chris Brown albums of recent memory, but they be heat though. What I hear be heat, but I don't have 60 more tracks of my time for you, sir. I just don't have it. This is 19 tracks for somebody that at this point I felt was a marginal rapper at best. This is a lot of songs. This is a lot of content. And this is not that feature heavy either. like Manny Fresh is not a real rap feature on here. He could have scrapped the entire Last of a Dying Breed song. T.I. and Scrappy on Bang, different story. Slick pulling Lloyd, you know how I feel. Get that out of here. I don't care if the girls with dirty socks like it. But yeah, you take off about 3 of these songs, for sure you're at 16 tracks. And I'm like, even then, there's a couple I could do without. But here's the thing that I want everybody to really realize here is that even though I'm telling you it's 3 skips on here, cut to the chase, this is a classic album. This is a classic album. And why is it a classic? One, because of what I seen in Atlanta. We'll start with what I seen. And what I seen for the first time in my life at 23, 24 years old is I saw one man in the city that he's honestly not even originally from. Like, he's from South Georgia. People put me onto that. That was there. So that's not me trying to call out Jeezy not being from Atlanta. This is just the story. It's like, yeah, no, the dude from South Georgia, like he up here now, but he putting in the work. He doing this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, that's dope. But I heard about these moments from like the hip hop pioneers in like the Bronx and, you know what I'm saying, Brooklyn and all of that. I'm from Freeport, Illinois, so yeah, you hear people riding around with, you know, joints playing in the car or things, songs and music becomes a topic of conversation, but never have I seen a situation where there was every car on the street was playing a song from this album. The streets are packed. I've never seen thousands of people, like literally probably about 2,000 people just on one street in the city trying to get into either club, trying to just take in the energy that was the Thug Motivation 101 album release. Jeezy came into the Lenox Mall and was handing out money. He was handing out money at Lenox Mall. I ain't getting none, but Lenox Mall, Jeezy is in there shaking hands and passing out bread. I just never seen anything like that. But that's hella promo. That's hella promo right there. That's a new level of marketing. And for him to not even do a show when I was there, but the city is just on fire for him. I truly understood what it meant to be an independent artist, a local artist, an artist on the rise, and how to be an artist with a deal, but not rely solely on the deal. Make no mistake, TM 101 is a classic because of the work that was put in. Jeezy put in a lot of work on this album, not even just from picking the beats and the rhymes and the song structure and all of that, but I'm talking about the campaigning. That was one of the illest campaigns I've ever seen in my life. And speaking of that, marketing, campaign, never seen in my life. The Snowman t shirt, dog, it's not a myth, it's not a gang. And again, my hating ass want one still because I didn't get one in real time. Those Snowman t-shirts were unavailable after July 25th. They were unavailable. And I'm talking about before the young kid wore it to school that day and they tried to kick him out of school for having it because that was a big news story in Atlanta too, and it went national, obviously. But I'm saying that to say, man, that movement of the Snowman t-shirt sparking more conversation of the album, which is then just it's already off the shelves. So now people want the shirt and the album. Imagine if he was doing bundles back then. Imagine if the bundle in the music industry bundle existed back then when Jeezy was slinging Snowman t-shirts, Trap or Die mixtape, and the TM 101 album. He'd probably be a damn billionaire. And that's just what I've seen. That's just what I've seen. And it had a life of its own. But now here's the other part, y'all. This is the part I want y'all to understand too. And this is for every artist that's listening, right? You know, fever pitch. I want to say we're in August, September. People still are absolutely playing the hell out of TM 101. I'm back out in Buckhead. I'm leaving at a Frequency nightclub, I believe it is. I want to say Megan Good was there that night. And they were trying to charge $30, but we showed up early, so we got in free. As we hopping from spot to spot over there off the street that Frequency is on, young little dude show up, garbage bag, got his hand in his garbage bag. I'm like, yo, I ain't got no money. He about to jack the wrong dude. He ends up saying, hey, yo, man, I got the new Jeezy. I was like, no, bro, I got it. I bought the album. The TM 101, I got that. He was like, no, that Can't Bend the Snowman, bro. That Can't Bend the Snowman is out. I was like, Can't Bend the Snowman. And he reached in there, gave me the CD, and I was like, whoa, wait, what? And I looked at the track. I had it like in the man, I got it over there somewhere. Damn, I meant to grab that. But grab that mixtape. And I see new imagery. Turn on the back. I see drama on the back. Put that in as soon as I get to the car. It's a gang of new music and another crazy intro. Jeezy might be an intro king out here to an album, by the way. He might be the intro king to some projects, man. He got some great ones. That Can't Bend the Snowman intro is incredible. And I was like, wow, he's done it again. He's done it damn again. Because this Can't Bend the Snowman is crazy. So what I'm saying with all of that, because I know people play the volume game now, but for streams. But I watched Jeezy in Atlanta play the quality game with the quantity game. He stayed in everybody's face for a solid year. In my personal opinion, I think because Trap or Die, TM 101, and Can't Bend the Snowman were so great, it's kind of why TM 102, the inspiration doesn't really do that well. And it's one of those forgotten about albums. Because that's a hell of a 3-project run to be in everybody's faces for a solid 2 years. And then you come back with the second official album. And it's not that people were Jeezy'd out because, yo, I heard 102 and was like, this Can't Bend the Snowman, though. Or you know what? I'm going to go back to this 101. And everything about that, it was people biting the style. It was this dude, he looked like he never even sold napkins. He had this talent show doing the whole Jeezy ad libs in this show set, and everybody people literally booed and they just got him off the stage. Like they cut dude Mike and was like, "Come on, bro." Jeezy just came out. What are you doing? And they got him out of there. It was a pretty funny moment. I never seen that much brutal honesty at the open mic. At an open mic showcase. I mean, no, it was a showcase. And they would have the contest, I think, to win like some money or something. They got homie out of here. I have no idea where he is to this day, and he probably doesn't know either. But man, listen. The only question I have is that, do you still feel 20 years later that this is still Jeezy's best album? I'm gonna say no. My favorite Jeezy album is, I think, is the best Jeezy album. I think it's still Recession. I think it's Recession. But man, TM 101 is still an incredible project. It's a game-changing project. If you were on the fence about who created trap music, or where the origin story came from, is it T.I., is it Gucci Mane, because Trap House was a really big record in '05. I heard that at a lot of house parties, and I heard it at a Q party where they probably was some AKAs, but some girls was in there just grinding. They had a line, they were just grinding on every dude per song, like they were doing their own lap dances standing up. It's pretty interesting experience at that Q party. I never went to another one. But I will say that TM 101 is such a game changer, because now trap music is here. And that's no disrespect to the Trap House album by Gucci Mane or Trap Music, which is my favorite T.I. album. Well, no, Paper Trail is still my favorite T.I. album, but number 2 or 1A is Trap Music. And even though that's an incredible album, man, the energy behind Jeezy and TM 101, it was unreal. And it was motivation. It was an upliftment, even though the content, if you're a lyric listener, you don't sit there and be like, yeah, nigga, I'm so inspired to just go to college and get my master's. At face value, you're not motivated to. But at the same time, though, if you apply some of the messaging to what he's saying, I totally get now why people were so on fire about what he was doing and what he was saying, and the movement behind it too. Though there was a lot of hustle that went into this. There was a lot of just extra leg work. I never even seen or heard a Jeezy interview or seen the Jeezy concert, but man, did the city of Atlanta, speak for Jeezy when that album dropped. And to this day, I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen the people campaign harder for an album than the artist did. He was such an enigma. He was so elusive at that time. But boy, could you see the effect of his music in every pocket. Bankhead, Buckhead, Cumberland, Kennesaw, Marietta, everywhere in Atlanta and the surrounding areas. People were so high on that Jeezy, and that it was totally just it was mind-boggling for me. Still to this day, it was mind-boggling for me. It was then, and we're gonna have another 2005 Atlanta conversation, because we're getting a little long on this episode, because it's all about TM 101. But what I will say is that this album is special to me because, one, it checked the hater in me forever. Matter of fact, being in Atlanta in 2005, summer 2005, checked me for being a music hater forever, as a musician, as an artist, a writer, all of that. Because it was in Atlanta where I truly learned that, one, styles make fights, and sometimes you are making the music for the people. And a lot of what people are missing in music now is we get so wrapped up into analytics and streams and what numbers do, you know what I'm saying? And we can blame 50 Cent for that, and we can talk about that on another episode, but it's so numbers based that people don't even care about the feeling of music anymore. Music is meant to be felt. Yeah, you got to hear it, you got to listen to it, but music is going to carry a feeling first. And that's what being in Atlanta in 2005 taught me. And we're gonna talk about that more in depth on another episode, but we'll stick to TM 101. Young Jeezy, Thug Motivation 101. That it truly represented the feeling of Atlanta, and the shift of the feeling in Atlanta. The shift sort of from snap music. But at the same time, though, I also learned that snap music or trap music didn't define what was happening in Atlanta. There was more than one sound in Atlanta, like unlike Chicago, where you either tongue twisting or you rapping like Common, right? Or Kanye. You know, it wasn't so defined. It's like you got one or two sounds, and that's it. There were so many different sounds that got to exist in Atlanta at this time, and the people loved all of it. That's us on the outside hating. That's New Yorkers in LA and people that think that they're so great at rapping and all of this. Like that's outside noise hating. On the inside, people are loving this. And that was a valuable lesson for me to learn. And I am forever changed and forever grateful to be able to see something like that as an outsider to Atlanta, learning Atlanta culture and learning about TM 101. Jeezy, thank you for this contribution. I see the 20-year run. I am super upset that I missed the show you did at TPAC in Nashville because I had a business trip to go to. But I love the evolution of this. I love the evolution of you, sir, and performing with the orchestra. I see the live album is out. I'm going to listen to it. And thank you. Thank you very much for this great contribution of hip hop. Yes, dare I say, TM 101, top 100 album ever, and it should be appreciated. It should be listened to and understood. And man, again, I just say thank you, and thank y'all for listening. Thank you for taking in this story and absorbing it, and just appreciating it. I saw double digits on the streams tonight, so I appreciate that wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. And yeah, man, it's Camp from the Porch Show, where every sound has a story. And I'll catch you in the next story. All right. So just know that always and consensually, it's love.